She takes screenshots of our arguments and sends them to her mom. I know this because I've seen her do it. She doesn't hide it. She'll be sitting next to me, thumb moving, and I'll ask who she's texting and she'll say, "My mom." Like that explains everything. And then 5 minutes later the way she's talking to me is different. Calmer. Firmer. Like a decision already got made somewhere else. That's kind of how it goes most days. We'll be in the middle of something, planning dinner, talking about a trip, even just deciding when to see each other. And her phone lights up. Her mom's name. She always answers. It doesn't matter where we are. We could be on a date, mid-sentence, and she'll say, "Hold on," and step away. Sometimes she puts it on speaker without meaning to, and I hear my name. Not in a bad way, just involved. Like I'm part of a meeting I didn't agree to be in. After those calls, plans change. Not dramatically. It's subtle. Actually, tonight might not work. Or, we should probably do that another weekend. If I ask why, she says, "I talked to my mom." That's it. That's the explanation. Not what her mom said. Just that the conversation happened. And I'm supposed to understand that that means something shifted. Holidays are the same. I don't get asked what I want to do. I get informed. She'll tell me where she's going, when she's leaving, how long she'll be there. Sometimes she'll say, "My mom already planned it." Sometimes she'll say, "It's just how we do things." I'm included, technically. I get an invite. But the schedule isn't flexible. If I can't make it work, then I'm the one opting out. It's never presented like a discussion. Future plans are tricky. She doesn't say no outright. She just doesn't say yes until she's talked to her mom. Moving closer to each other, traveling, even something small like committing to a weekend weeks in advance, it all comes with this pause. This check-in. Let me see what my mom thinks. Sometimes she phrases it as logistics. Sometimes as respect. Sometimes as culture. I nod along because I don't want to be the guy who doesn't get it. And I keep telling myself it's not that serious. That families are close. That it's normal for parents to have opinions. That she's just being considerate. I tell myself she's the one I'm dating, not her mother, even when it doesn't really feel that clean. Even when I realize I'm adjusting my expectations based on how her mom might react, not how my girlfriend feels. We met pretty normally. A friend's birthday thing. Loud bar, bad music, everyone half paying attention. We talked because we were standing next to each other and it felt easy. She laughed at my jokes. I liked that she asked questions. Nothing dramatic. We exchanged numbers. Went for coffee a few days later. It wasn't intense. It was just comfortable. Early on, what felt safe was how grounded she seemed. She had routines. Family dinners. Weekly calls with her mom. It made her feel stable. Predictable. Like she wasn't floating through life. I liked that. It made me feel like she knew who she was. When she talked about her family, it sounded like support, not control. At least that's how I heard it then. The first time I noticed something was small. We had planned a weekend away. Nothing fancy. Just a couple days. She was excited about it. Sent me links. We talked about what to pack. Then the night before, she got a call. I could hear her side of it. A lot of hum, and I know. When she hung up, she said we should postpone. Her mom thought it was too much right now. I remember asking, "Do you want to go?" And she said, "It's probably better this way." I didn't push. It didn't feel worth it. I told myself it was one weekend. Stuff happens. I didn't want to make it a thing. And honestly, she seemed relieved. Like the decision being taken out of her hands made it easier. After that, it happened more. Not trips, necessarily, but choices. We'd talk about something, land somewhere, and then it would get undone after a call or a text. Sometimes I wouldn't even know until later. She'd just show up with a different plan. And if I looked confused, she'd say, "I told my mom," and she had some concerns. Concerns about timing, about priorities, about what made sense. I started adapting without really noticing. I'd wait to get excited until after she talked to her mom. I'd phrase things more carefully, like I was aware they might be forwarded, because sometimes they were. I found out she sent screenshots of our arguments because once she accidentally scrolled past one while we were sitting together. My words. Highlighted. Annotated with her mom's replies underneath. Advice. Opinions. Strategies. She laughed it off when she saw my face. Said her mom just helps her think things through. Said it wasn't a big deal. I said okay, even though something in me tightened. Even though it felt strange knowing that when we disagree, there's a third voice weighing in before we ever circle back to each other. When I bring it up, Gently, she gets defensive in this calm way. Says I'm overthinking it. Says I'm making it sound worse than it is. Says her mom just wants what's best for her. And then she'll add, "You know how important family is to me," which makes me feel like I'm the one asking for something unreasonable. So I explain it differently to myself. I say I'm being patient, that I'm respecting her values, that she'll set boundaries when she's ready. I even explain it to friends like that. They're just really close, I'll say. Or, it's a cultural thing. I hear myself minimizing it while I'm doing it. But it feels easier than admitting I don't actually have a say half the time. The weird part is, there's no big fight, no blow up. It's all very polite, very reasonable on the surface. That almost makes it harder to point to. Because how do you complain about someone caring about their mom? How do you say, "I feel like I'm not fully in this relationship," when technically you are included, just filtered? I stay because I keep thinking this is temporary. That once we're more serious, once things are more settled, she won't need to check in as much. That she'll start making decisions and then telling her mom, instead of the other way around. I stay because I already know her family. I've been to the gatherings. I'm in the group chats. People ask where I've been if I miss something. Leaving wouldn't just be leaving her. It would be stepping out of an entire system that already made room for me. And leaving sounds simple until I think about explaining it. About saying, "Your mom is too involved," without sounding like the villain. About walking away from 2 years over something that doesn't have a clean label. About starting over and wondering if I just didn't try hard enough to understand. There wasn't one moment where it all clicked. It was more like noticing how often my name comes up in conversations I'm not part of. How often decisions get reversed in real time because a phone rings. How I sometimes feel like I'm waiting for approval too, even though no one ever asked me to. Right now, I'm still here. Still showing up. Still adjusting. Still telling myself this is just how it is for now. I don't feel angry all the time. Mostly I feel managed. Like the relationship exists, but it's supervised. And I don't know if that's something you grow out of, or something you slowly accept without realizing what you're giving up. So I keep asking myself the same thing, quietly, over and over. Am I in a relationship with one person, or am I negotiating my place in an entire family?